Hello and welcome back to ThoughtBot's AI in Focus. I'm ThoughtBot developer and CEO Chad Pytel, and today I'm joined by a familiar face on the stream.
Hello, thank you for having me again. I'm Clarissa, by the way.
Well, thank you for joining me as we explore sort of part two of this idea that we started on last week, where we worked with one of our clients, FrontrowMD, to explore using ChatGPT Agent, which is a full virtual computer inside of ChatGPT, to do some automated quality assurance of their clients' websites. So what Front Row Health is a series of embeddable widgets on your e-commerce page if you have health products, and it embeds reviews. Here's from doctors, and so we have the concept of the badge and this call out here, and then scrolling down there, the reviews are listed, and you can click on Learn More and get a pop-up window of those reviews. This is an example site that's working as expected. And what we did last week was we went to these other pages for other products on the same store, which are not working as expected. This one doesn't include the reviews down below. This one has a messed up badge, and it includes the header for the reviews, but the reviews themselves are in like a scrolling area. And so that's wrong. Shouldn't be scrolling there. And so what we found was that ChatGPT Agent was actually pretty good at, if you gave it the working page and said, okay, now go look at these other pages and identify the things that look like issues. And we gave it some common issues, and it was able to basically identify all of them. So you might say, like, why are we working on this problem again this week? The issue is that ChatGPT Agent isn't programmable at all. The only way to use it is to type to it within chat.openai.com, like within the ChatGPT interface currently. they haven't exposed any APIs for it or anything like that. And so at the end of last week's stream, we explored an open source library called Browser Use, which attempts to do a similar thing, but uses your browser on your computer and ChatGPT to control the browser on your computer. And it does that by taking screenshots of the browser window, identifying the elements on the page and doing clicks on XY coordinates and that kind of thing on the browser. What we found from that was it was really slow. And two, the results weren't as good. And I'm not sure of why it wasn't as good. We were using the same models. So what in documentation for ChatGPT Agent, what it says is like it's tuned for computer use and research and like all these things all combined into one thing that they've created as a product. So that's my best explanation for why the results weren't as good. And in addition, it was slow. So Browser Use gave us a path where we could program in Python. Oh, I just pronounced that weird. Programmed in Python, visiting web pages that are real live production web pages and trying to find issues with them. So today we're going to take that one step further and we're going to explore alternative things besides Browser Use that might lead us to a path to be able to script these checking of lots of different websites to make sure that your widget or the things that you expect in production are there. Clarissa, any questions, that kind of thing?
No, I think I get all of this. I just when you said, I will go out of scope a little bit now. When you said we were going to do some QA testing, automated QA testing and doing screenshots, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, this could potentially be useful for also assessing accessibility, like not in a way that you are just reading the HTML elements, but also like looking at the experience itself. So that's one thing that crossed my mind, but I know that that's way beyond scope right now.
Well, it's interesting that you could say that because what I found, so in prepping for the episode today, I thought we were going to go in a little bit of different direction. I thought we were basically going to, so ChatGPT does expose a tool that it knows about called computer use, which allows you to write a ChatGPT client using the ChatGPT APIs and send it screenshots. And it will tell you, it will send back tool use commands. Okay, scroll down, click on this XY coordinate, that kind of thing, and sending back and forth screenshots from your browser. And so you could use Playwright or Selenium and a Ruby script to be able to create that feedback loop and basically do what that is. And I think that might be a valid path. But while researching that, I found that so actually I I found Playwright MCP, which is created by Microsoft fairly recently. I think it was created in June or July. But I was thinking, oh, we shouldn't have to code this loop. And we shouldn't have to code like when ChatGPT tells us to click on this element, that we have to code the Playwright command to be able to click on that element, because MCP servers are meant to basically take away the need to write that code. And so I was like, oh, maybe someone's written a Playwright server for an MCP server for Playwright. It turns out it's Microsoft. So let's talk about what an MCP server actually is. Sammy did a great thing. You can watch it on our channel about MCP servers and what they are. So if you're looking for like a whole episode of around that and using them, that's a great place to start. But Clarissa, have you used an MCP server at all?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing about that.
So this is actually my first time actually using one as well. So what an MCP server is in broad strokes is basically it's a server that communicates in a relatively standard JSON schema that has been devised, and then it just says like, here's all the tools that it provides an interface for saying like, here's how you use me, and and in a relatively standard schema, and then it can take API requests to be used using those ways of doing things. So Microsoft has written a lightweight server that can use Playwright and expose all the ways of controlling Playwright via an API in the standard MCP schema. So when you start that server, then you connect it and you tell the LLM you're using, as long as it has MCP support, hey, I've got this MCP server running, and it's able to find out how to use that tool. So you can write MCP servers for basically anything that you could use. So for example, a lot of times we've written code for an application on this stream called Hub, which is an internal system that we have. You could use an MCP server for two different ways with Hub. And it took a little bit for me to wrap my head around this. One is you could have an MCP server running in development that provides information around all the models and the code and everything inside of that repository, inside of that application. And then ChatGPT would be able to better code, or any LLM would be able to better code against that because it knows how to get the information without running. Like if it wants to find out what all the models are, the LLM needs to run a search to find out what everything in app models. But an MCP server, it could expose a command to be able to list all the models in the application. Or you could make an MCP server that when you run it, it's actually talking to Hub production. And so it could expose functions for scheduling people, looking at people's schedules, moving a sales opportunity forward, those kinds of things. And it could expose them, so then you could use those functions from an LLM without having to program against Hub.
That's very impressive.
It's cool. So that's what Playwright MCP has done with the Playwright web controller. So, and the reason why this is a long segue, the reason why accessibility is important here is actually the way. Actually, let me go back to the browser. The way this works is it says it uses Playwright's. I'm going to share my screen now. It uses Playwright's accessibility tree, not pixel-based input. And even just the few times I've used it here, the result is obvious. It is much faster than having to open the browser, take screenshots, send those screenshots to ChatGPT, and have it analyze using the Vision APIs. Mm-hmm. Instead, what it's doing is it's using the accessibility APIs, and you can sort of see here's the page, and then it actually generates a page snapshot, which is this YAML structure with all the links and the images and their alt text and everything there. So in some ways, this is going to automatically be checking the accessibility of the web page, because if something's not accessible, I envision that this isn't quite going to work the way that we expect. So I've got Visual Studio Code up here, and you may have caught it on here. You can run MCP, Playwright MCP in a standalone mode, and then you could write any scripts against it or connect it to your LLM against it. But Microsoft has also made plugins for a bunch of editors, the Gemini CLI, and as well as Visual Studio Code, and Windsurf too. So once you install the MCP into Visual Studio Code, then that means Copilot Agent can use your browser via MCP. So we'll be able to, rather than writing code, we'll be able to tell ChatGPT, a Copilot Agent, to do things. Okay, so let's replicate what we did last week, but with that. And so what we found worked well is telling it, visit this page. This is an example of a functional front row MD embed that has no issues. And then what we said was, and you might be able to, I think this is called the banner. So we said the banner is in the product image. Banner is in the upper left of the product image. Do you remember what this is called?
I think I don't know if it's called it like widget or.
Oh, actually, it's the badge is in the upper left. The
Oh, okay.
banner,
Oh, this is the banner then.
yeah, is
Okay.
below the product price. The reviews are at the bottom of the page and are not in a scrollable view. And then what we said was visit and identify any issues with the front row MD embed. Okay, let's see what happens. So we can see that it's going to say run navigate to your URL using the Playwright MCP server. So it's going to that first URL. Note that the MCP servers or malicious conversation content may attempt to misuse code through tools. You do have the option to allow in this session, allow in this workspace, or always allow. We'll just click on continue for now. Okay, so same problem as last week. We need to be able to log in. It'll save that. This website, once you log in, it bumps you back to the page. Okay. Oh, is password protected, so I couldn't log in for the second.
The second
I've
one
entered
loading?
the password. Please try again. The second one loaded, yeah, but I had to click on it.
Oh, okay.
The browser stayed
Open. Okay.
behind. Actually, let me see if I can rearrange and close this. Okay. So it's immediately obvious to me. I don't know whether this is going to work and be a good quality, but it's immediately obvious how much faster it is.
Uh-huh.
Like if you watch last week's stream, once we started using browser use, and even ChatGPT Agent was really slow compared to this.
So the browser, what was the name of the other tool?
Browser dash use.
Was that running locally, or did you?
Running locally, but against the remote LLM.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're seeing here is that both pages are now accessible. Here's the analysis. And it says that there's no issues. Now, that's interesting because Balance V2 doesn't include the reviews. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of nice that you can expand this and see the source of what it sees.
Yeah.
But the reviews aren't there. So I wonder
How do
why
the
that is.
reviews look like on the other one that on the output? Um,
Yeah, good,
on the first
good,
output.
good question.
My guess is that it is taking
Yeah, it's
something
right
else
here.
as the reviews. It says evaluations. Oh, but
Yeah.
it also says clinician reviewed.
Mm-hmm. But that doesn't appear at all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say double check that the reviews / evaluations appear on both versions. I wonder what's happening. It didn't even do anything with Playwright there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Maybe you have to. I don't know if the outputs are still on the context. I don't know if you had to ask it to revisit again or if it's
Yeah,
just.
revisit both pages and double check. Okay. So now it's actually revisiting. Okay, well, I mean, that's interesting. The reviews. I mean, we're looking at what it's in here. Yeah, it's not there. So that's a bust.
Yeah. What if you give it a specific string that for sure is on the other
Yeah,
page?
sure.
That's very weird. I think it um yeah,
We're on like full on hallucination mode now.
right.
Is not visible in the
Okay.
current snapshot of the page.
Okay. I wonder if somehow it got confused because you provided two pages for it to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, let's start a new chat. Let's change the model to, we're using 4.0 now. Let's change to GPT-5 and run the same thing. I don't know that it's going to come down to the model because it seems like this might be a playwright issue, but
Mhm.
we can see what happens. Let's say the evaluations are at the bottom of the page and are not. Okay. Anything else we should change in this?
Um, no, I think for comparison it's good, but I can think of a few things that we could do to make it more detailed on the request. Like instead of saying identify any issues with the embed,
Mm-hmm.
maybe compare with the first page and identify missing
Okay, I like that.
things.
Let's do this just to see whether
Yeah.
the different model is any different, and then we can enable chat for all clients. Enable. Okay. It's working.
It is promising. It's working.
Oh, that's interesting. It's doing something completely different now. It's opening both in tabs, capturing full page screenshots, and checking console logs to identify differences or errors. Now
Ooh.
it's scrolling down the page. Wow, it's doing a lot more things. I'm glad that we ran it on GPT-5 with the same prompt without doing that so that we could see what the difference was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to verify the V2 page has only 2 FrontrowMD iframes. Try the read their reviews CTA in the banner and capture a comparison screenshot from the working page. You can look at what it's running. It's doing a query selector all iframe, making sure that there's only two of them. So now it's clicking read the reviews CTA inside the banner iframe. It's still working. So this is, I mean, it is doing a much better job, but now it's sort of back to being slow because I can tell it's using, now it's taking screenshots and using the ChatGPT vision stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, if it works better, isn't necessarily a problem. So it says to confirm which FrontrowMD elements exist and whether they're visible on the V2 page, I'll inspect specific iframe elements and report visibility and container overflow. It's going to click. Wow.
It is doing a lot more than it's necessary.
Yeah, it's too good now.
Yeah.
I've okay, so now it's trying to click read their reviews. So it is still using so it's not taking screenshots every single time. Like it's using this here. It's also possible that GPT-5 is just slower at this task. But here it is calling .click on it, and then it's getting the accessible version of the page. It's not taking a screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
The last time it took a screenshot was take a screenshot right here. It took a screenshot when it opened the V2 page. Okay, so it finished its work. What I did, open both pages in a browser, inspected the DOM, looked specifically for FrontrowMD iframes, findings, badge, present. Okay, issues on V2, missing inline evaluation section, no testimonials. Users can't see evaluations inline on the page. Read the reviews CTA in the banner doesn't surface evaluations. Is that true? Oh, yeah, it is true. And that makes sense because that would normally go down to here,
Right.
but they're not there. And badge and banner placement appear correct. Great.
Uh-huh. I wonder if. Oh no, I don't know
What?
about that. I said I was going to say I wonder if the other model took it as like because it saw the reviews text on the page.
Mm-hmm.
If it took it as that was what we were looking for, but you described where it should be, so I don't know.
Yeah. So this is good, actually. This is basically just as good as what we got from ChatGPT Agent last week. But now we're in control, and we're doing this within Visual Studio Code for ease of setup. But we could just as easily be talking directly in a programmable way from a Ruby script or a Python script or whatever, iterating through a series of URLs to check.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we could tell it, because this page is a list of, this page is a list of all 3 products. So starting at check all the linked products to ensure the front row MD embed is working properly. Report only on issues. So we probably don't even need to specify the individual pages if you have a product index.
Mm-hmm.
We won't necessarily let it go through. I just want to confirm, or like all of them, but I want to confirm that it. So what is it doing? It's doing query selector all, every link that goes to /products URL. That's interesting.
Why does it sometimes ask you if it can do things and sometimes it doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll let it run for a little bit because I'm curious about. Okay, I'll audit every product linked from the all collection and report only FrontrowMD embed issues. Okay. I'm doing this in the context of that.
Oh,
It
is
didn't.
cheating.
It's cheating. Yeah. It didn't check the FOIE one.
Did it visit? Oh yeah, it did.
It did. Okay, so well, that points to if I was hoping that it would, maybe, and it's possible it's because we had the context, it threw it off.
Do you have Cloud set up there?
I do, yeah.
Ahmad Majid, I'm hoping I'm saying that name correctly. They asked, how does it compare with to Cloud?
Yeah, cool. We can try that. It finished looking at that page and it says no issues, none issues detected. But that's not right. We have this badge issue and we have this here. So that's unfortunate. So let's take that initial prompt. You want to try it in Claude? Actually, I'm realizing okay. Okay. I noticed a significant, Claude is much more chatty. Let me scroll down to see. I can clearly see the issues. Let me take a screenshot to better visualize the problems.
Clearly see.
So this is going back and it's actually taking screenshots of both pages as well. Okay, so one, Claude is identifying the same issues, but it's definitely faster.
Yeah, a lot faster. It did fewer things as well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's so when we did this with ChatGPT 5, it said there were no issues. Oh. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know if you saw what it did. It said I can't, that initial one is password protected, so let me see if I can go to like an index page and browse to it.
Mm.
Okay, so it found the issue. It found both the badge is incorrectly positioned
But
and oh,
the issue was different than what the actual issue is. If you scroll up, it says if you go back to the chat and
mhm.
scroll up a little bit, it says incorrect badge placement.
Yeah.
The clinician's choice badge should be positioned on the upper left, and then it says that the badge is incorrectly positioned below the product price. So it confused. Sorry,
Yeah.
it confused uh, with
Yeah.
the other element.
It's also interesting that it says the independent clinician's evaluation section is present at the bottom with full clinician details. The evaluations are properly displayed in a normal non-scrollable layout. But that's
Not
not the
true.
case.
Yeah.
um, okay, so it's not. So ChatGPT Agent last week definitely was able to identify the issues on this FOIE page better than here.
Hmm.
Um, if we, so you had an idea for how to modify this to potentially produce some better results.
Yeah.
Do you remember what
So
it was?
yeah. So I'm thinking we could instead of saying identify any issues with the front row MD
Mm-hmm.
embed, um, let me see. Okay, this is an example that has no issues. Visit this one and compare with maybe compare with the first with the
With the working
yeah with the
example,
working example and identify missing or
incorrectly
yeah
sized
elements.
or placed elements.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Let's just say then. Oops.
Ahmad Majid in the chat said that they noticed that these tools are quite bad when the problems are stimulus, turbo, or hotwire related.
That's interesting. What in particular, I wonder, is not working with that? Because it seems like it should just be regular JavaScript pages. Okay. So that is correct. Now check. Yeah, that's a nice table.
Oh, yeah.
But it's wrong, but
Yeah.
it's a nice table.
Yeah. I see that it seems that it is confusing a lot, the
Mm-hmm.
both of the elements,
Yeah.
the clinician's choice elements.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I wonder, like, this sort of defeats the purpose, but if we correct it, I wonder what will happen. It appears to me that has an incorrectly sized badge on the front row MD badge on the product image, and the evaluations the bottom are in a scrollable view iframe.
Oh.
Okay. So it wants to take another look.
Is it an iframe?
It is.
Like,
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, it is an iframe.
okay.
I don't know. We just messed up the. Oh no, it was waiting on us. See, the way it's talking, I don't trust. Oh, okay. It's. Oh, it used. Okay, it got Java. It got the height with JavaScript. See how this one is 662 pixels. This one's missing, which is correct. This one is 200 pixels. Scrollable. Thanks for asking, Ahmed. Ahmad, the next stream will be next week at the same time as this one. If you've got suggestions for something you'd like us to either experiment with LLMs or AI, or a feature to build in a real application, we're definitely open to suggestions. So thanks for watching. So can we write a prompt where from the beginning
it
It
gets.
it does these things.
What was the initial? I think we didn't ask it to check the size. No, we did incorrectly sized.
Compare. Yeah.
Um, um, hopefully so.
There is there is a real. Ooh, I have to find it in my history here. If you've got an idea, I'd love to hear. I'm going to look in my history and find the other page that we checked last time. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to say perform the same checks on reporting on any issues. So we're going to see here, this is a completely different website with a completely different view. Let me also close the pop-up dialog that's interfering with the page view. There you go.
I think at some point when you were testing the agent mode, it accepted the cookies, right?
Yes, that was last week. That was funny. Yeah. The missing badge component. Badge on image. Yeah. Okay. That's cool because basically that is one of the configurable things. You don't need to have the badge on the image. And so the idea is if we were to have this, we would have the database of how each page is supposed to be configured. Okay, I have an idea for how we might be able to change the prompt. I'm gonna
Right.
create a new thing here.
I thought I had an idea too, which might be similar. Oh no, I don't know. I thought just like giving it an example of a page that doesn't work and saying, oh, for example, look at this page. This page has these elements that don't work. But it's the thing is that we would have to be thinking too far ahead of the possible problems, and I don't know if that's feasible every time.
Right. We actually have this documentation provided by Front Row, which is a much more detailed thing. So we actually could okay. So check. Next, visit a series of other product pages with or that should include the FrontrowMD embed and I'm removing ones that are just not going to work. So this is much more detailed. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. I'm going to allow in this session. I'm
Okay.
feeling bold. Oh, it must be like the first navigate to URL needs to be approved.
All right.
Evaluate JavaScript needs to be approved. Let's see if that's what's happening. So it's testing the read their reviews button. Okay, so now it's on the Good On Ya page. Now I can see the complete Good On Ya implementation and can make a thorough comparison. I can see on the Good On Ya page, the read their reviews button is highlighted as active, but no modal appears. This behavior is the same as on the Balance V2 page, which suggests this might be the intended behavior, directing users to the reviews section already visible on the page. The reference balance page shows the gold standard implementation, while the test pages have various component and functionality issues that should be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what it says the Good On Ya working components, minor issues, non-functional review CTA. Read their reviews button activates but doesn't open modal.
Oh, so it was expecting a model, but that's not what happens.
Right. And missing banner, only badge present, no banner component. That's correct. Display these results in a table. I liked the table.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Here's 3 tables now.
I know. Yo, dog, I heard you like tables. Okay. Reviews not in a scrollable review. Yeah, I mean, but it dropped FOIE somewhere. Did I not include that one in the? Oh, I didn't
Oh,
include
okay.
it. Okay. Now let's ask it to check that one too.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it's saying summarizing conversation history. That means that it's gotten the context of what we've done so far has gotten big enough that it's hitting the context limit. So it's resummarizing.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
wonder whether that's
interesting.
going to impact the accuracy of.
Uh, I was always curious about that, how that works behind the scenes. Like, does it add more weight to the latest messages when summarizing to shorten the context?
Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, it's let me test the FrontrowMD logo button in the reviews footer. What is the logo button? So it's not detecting the scrollable thing, even though it did at one point check the heights of those. And this is the first time it's done this. This is funny. Boy, the tone of Claude is just completely different than ChatGPT 5.
Uh-huh.
The review section modal is exemplary and demonstrates the full potential of the functional.
Potential.
The FOI page joins the reference balance page as an example of gold standard front row MD implementation. I'm putting that same correction.
You're absolutely right.
So if you know all of the most common potential issues, then I think you're right. You might be able to basically do either specific instructions or even screenshots of common issues.
Mm-hmm.
And now gets a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, we're not having luck getting it to be consistent with these checks.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if because that's an interesting idea. That okay, so this suggestion is asking the LLM, can you compose a prompt that would detect these issues from the beginning? Thank you for the suggestion. So it is suggested banner dimensions under 200 pixels and or 40 pix height, max height constraints under 80 pix. I don't know whether these are correct or not. Wow, this is really specific.
Yeah. Maybe you could ask it like more generic, assuming that you don't know what the issues could be.
Mm-hmm. But still find them. Okay, so what it's saying here is it's saying cross component consistency check. So it's not naming the components, but it's saying identify similar components across the different pages and do they dramatically differ.
Mm-hmm.
That strikes me as a pretty reasonable way to go about it, because I bet the naming of these embedded elements and everything is the same. It probably can identify. So I like this.
Okay.
Let's. Okay, we'll start a new Claude.
Let's ask it to also generate a nice table at the end.
Okay. I think we should say embedded front row MD. I just feel like that's going to help it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
On so this gets away from giving it that the balance one is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Are we okay with that?
I think for some elements maybe, but otherwise, like the page that doesn't have
I accidentally
the.
hit enter.
Oh, okay. I think you can.
What was that?
That was my cat trying to steal food from the feeder. Let me just put some food for her. I'm back.
Welcome back. Do you think we should tell it that the balance one is correct, or?
Yes, I think so, because like for there is one of them, I think balance v2, that doesn't have, or I can't remember which one. Yeah, balance v2 that doesn't have anything about reviews at all, so it
Mm-hmm.
won't know.
So okay, let's run that, and while that runs, we can answer Ahmad's question. Any idea if Thoughtbot is hiring again soon? Yes, the answer is yes. We're going to be opening up a product manager position in EMEA and a couple of other roles as well in the coming days and weeks. Hopefully, React Native and Rails developer positions as well. So stay tuned. The place to look for that is thoughtbot.com/jobs. You can also follow us on Mastodon at thoughtbot.social or Blue Sky at thoughtbot.com. And if you're watching, the best way to ensure that we need to hire is telling your company to hire Thoughtbot to work on your Rails app or building a new mobile app or implementing AI like we're doing now to solve problems. Okay, it is checking dimensions now. And now we don't even need to hit continue. It's just doing it all for us.
And it's already calling the pages problematic.
Yeah. Okay, it's identifying the hidden content. I like that. Oh, there's our table. Oh, sticker widget, quant widget. So these come from the code. I think the code calls them sticker widget and quant.
Mm-hmm. The sticker widget might be the one on top of the image.
Yeah, it is, and that is correct. Like it is not there for Good Anya.
Mm-hmm.
It's undersized for FOIE. Quant widget,
Severely.
severely undersized. Testimonials missing. And on FOIE, it's severely truncated. Okay. That's the best yet.
Yeah, that's.
And we did it by doing some and then asking Claude to write a prompt to be able to do it.
That's funny. How much meta chat, like meta, I don't know how to call that, but how much you can use LLMs to help you use LLMs.
Yeah. I now for the grand finale, I think what we should try is find more pages on the internet that include the front row MD embed and check for issues.
You could also try to go to the catalog page to see if it would find the issues. Remember when we tried to make it visit each product?
Let's run that one and then. Does it actually have
I think it might have, but if it didn't open on a product page, it won't find.
Well, obviously, if we had, Front Row Health has a list of the sites that should include it. It's summarizing the conversation history again. I guess we hit the context.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there, yeah, there it is right there. It's not dismissing that modal. That's interesting. Look at that. Cool. I think we really sort of today we sort of proved the concept in my mind. We were able to come up with a series of rules or a prompt for checking that, after some refinement, was able to find all of the issues across our test pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that only happened after we were able to ask it to generate the prompt. Like until that point, I was thinking, oh, that's not viable right now to use.
Mm-hmm. And so let's try. I gotta remember what the it was. Okay. Visit and check each of the products in the catalog at I already have detailed analysis for these products. But let me visit each one systematically to verify and document.
Yeah. Because the chat doesn't have a time sense. Like you might be asking that on the next day after making some changes.
It's summarizing the conversation history again. That is one of the nice things about. So I'm just thinking through, if we were to be programming this in a separate script as opposed to prompting into in Copilot Agent, we would need to do that ourselves. We would need to be checking and which is doable. It's just when you start coding these things by hand, you need to take that into account.
You mean the summary of the context?
Yeah, exactly. Realizing that your context is getting too big and needs to be compressed.
How do you do that though? Because if it's too big for using it, it's too big also for asking to summarize.
You got to detect that it's going to be too big
Oh, okay.
and then do it before it gets too big.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't put it in a table. That's it. I'm out.
That's disappointing. I can't use that.
Okay, let's see whether it did serves as a reference implementation. All widgets properly sized. Balance 2 has the most severe issues with missing testimonials and truncated quant widget. FIE has multiple truncation issues affecting sticker and testimonial widgets. Yeah, so obviously it has the context of what we've built, but that was a good run where it checked every product in the catalog and found each of the issues on both of the pages correctly.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I'm going to save this prompt and pass it along to Front Row. Yasser will be hopefully pleased about that and can run another test where they use the URL database of URLs that they have to give it a try.
Yeah.
Clarissa, thanks for joining me again on this journey.
Yeah, anytime you invite me, I'll be there.
And like we were saying, you can work with Thoughtbot to make a new Rails app and maintain, improve, or scale your existing web or mobile applications. We're working with clients across the United States and Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And so don't hesitate to reach out. And yes, as we talked about, we're going to be opening up some positions at Thoughtbot. So you can check out thoughtbot.com/jobs. I'll be back next week. It's been a few weeks since we've done like code development where we're developing a feature that either uses AI or assisted by AI, coding just a regular feature. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll be back to that next time is my feeling. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.